Episode 7: Stakeholders' Involvement. In a quiet corner of Asaba, Delta State, Ogechi Benyojo, a woman with a master's degree in education and 4 years of teaching experience, saw the need around her. In her rural community, children's access to quality education was limited, with families struggling to find affordable schooling options. Determined to find a difference, Ogechi set up a nursery and primary school, bringing education to children who might otherwise have been left behind. Her story reveals a powerful truth. When communities, parents, and dedicated individuals step up, they can bridge gaps and shape futures that might otherwise be lost. In this episode, we explore the vital role that parents, communities, NGOs, and private organizations play in supporting and advocating for quality education across Nigeria, showing how local actions can drive national change. Education is not a one-dimensional effort. It thrives on a network of support. In Nigeria, this support comes from many directions: parents, communities, NGOs, and private organizations, all working together to uplift the nation's educational landscape. These stakeholders step in to address gaps in funding, infrastructure, and resources, and their involvement can be transformative, helping to create a system that better serves every child. Let's start with the role of parents and communities. Their involvement in education can be as impactful as any teacher, curriculum, or facility. Studies consistently show that when parents are actively engaged in their children's education, students are more likely to perform better academically, having better attendance, and even develop stronger social skills. A meta-analysis published in Current Psychological supports these findings that parental involvement has a small but significant position impact on students' academic motivation. In many rural and urban areas alike, parents gather periodically at school meetings, not just to hear about their children's progress, but to discuss school challenges and brainstorm solutions. Parents organize fundraisers to provide essential resources, from buying textbooks to funding maintenance for classrooms. They form support groups, work with school administrators to address students' needs, and in some cases even contribute as volunteer teachers or mentors. This involvement doesn't just help the school, it instills a shared responsibility, showing children that education is valued and essential. Community engagement also plays a crucial role, often filling gaps where government resources fall short. In areas where government funding may be delayed or inadequate, communities step in with initiatives to improve the learning environment. In some cases, communities come together to build or repair classrooms, ensuring students have a safe, conducive place to learn. In other cases, local businesses or leaders sponsor educational materials or fund scholarship programs for students in need, reducing the financial burden on families and encouraging more children to attend school regularly. But communities' involvement doesn't stop with resources. Parents and local leaders also play a role in accountability. Schools supported by active community engagement tend to see improvement not only in attendance but in teaching quality, as the community takes a direct interest in the progress of both students and educators. Parents volunteer to assist in after-school tutoring, or they organize weekly study groups to help students stay on top of their studies. In many communities, parents and local leaders go beyond traditional support by forming Parent Teachers Association (PTAs) meeting to address challenges as they arise. These PTAs are often on the front line advocating for their schools, rallying for additional funding, and pressing local government officials for better infrastructure and resources. In 2022, for instance, the village of Galdimari in Gombe State, Akko local government area, saw parents and community leaders take matters into their own hands. Faced with the harsh reality that students had to travel long distances just to reach school, they appealed directly to the state government for improved educational facilities. Their collective voice and persistency didn't go unnoticed. The story was picked up by the local media, amplifying their message and drawing greater attention to the need for better support. the story of Galdimari in one of many across Nigeria where communities have mobilized to fill the gap in education. But while communities-led efforts are powerful, they often need the support of larger organizations to sustain and expand their impact. This is where NGOs and private organizations play a crucial role, stepping in to advocate for and support educational initiatives in ways that local communities alone might struggle to achieve. NGOs bring resource experts and connections that can elevate community-led efforts or launch entirely new programs aimed at addressing the specific needs of undeserved areas. The Aid for Rural Education Access Initiative, AREAI, has been a significant player in this space. Founded in 2014, AREAI focuses on improving educational access and outcome in rural Nigeria, from providing learning materials to training teachers and developing educational programs tailored to marginalized communities. AREAI addressed the diverse challenges faced by students and educators. One of its flagship initiatives, the Pathway to Equitable Access to Learning PEARL program, has provided scholarship and academic resource to thousands of students, helping them stay in school and excel. AREAI's work reflects the growing movement among NGOs in Nigeria to target not just access but also the quality of education. Through initiatives like teacher training, classroom support, and innovative learning materials, they ensure that children in rural and underserved areas have access to the same opportunity as those in urban centers. And it's not just about providing resource. NGOs often advocate for policy changes, pushing for reforms that improve education, equity, and quality at a systemic level. Private organizations have also taken a vested interest in improving Nigeria's education sector. Many companies, particularly those in the tech and telecommunication industry, see the value of a well-educated workforce and the societal benefits of literacy and technical skills. For example, Microsoft and MTN have launched digital literacy and tech training programs aimed at preparing young Nigerians for digital economy. Microsoft Digital Skills Nigeria Initiative provides training in data science, digital marketing, and web development, opening doors for secondary school students to learn skills that can lead directly to employment opportunities. Ready to see how education can reshape a nation? Join us on a journey through Nigerian secondary schools where hope meets struggle and innovation sparks transformation, from crowded classrooms to digital breakthrough. Each episode dives into real stories, powerful solutions, and the future we are building for every student. The Nigerian Stock Exchange (NSE) Corporate Social Responsibility Program is yet another powerful force driving change in education by offering educational grants and scholarship. The NSE targets communities with high dropout rates, tackling the financial barriers that keep many students out of school. These scholarships are more than just financial aids. They represent a lifeline, allowing students from low-income families to continue their studies and dream of a future that once seemed out of reach. In 2020, the Nigerian Society of Engineers (NSE) awarded scholarship to 16 exceptional candidates who excelled in the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME). Among them was Madu Fukwa, Ego Gwogwo Agnes, who achieved an impressive score of 365, the highest in the country. For Agnes, this scholarship was transformative. Not only did it cover her tuition and related expenses, easing her family financial burden, but it also opened doors to mentorship and networking opportunities within Nigeria's engineering community. Now, with the backing of professional networks, the financial support, Agnes has a solid foundation foundation for a promising career, one that could inspire countless others in her community to reach higher. Her story exemplifies how targeted support like that of the NSE's program doesn't just change individual lives. It plants seeds of hope and ambition within entire communities, showing that when given the chance, Nigerian students are ready to rise. Then there is the Education Crisis Response (ECR) program, a collaboration funded by USAID, but deeply integrated with local communities, particularly in states like Bauchi, while led by international organizations. ECR relies heavily on community partnership. Local leaders and parents assist in identifying locations for learning centers, recruiting local facilitators, and providing ongoing support. This synergy between external organization and local communities is crucial to the program's success. It highlights how combining external resources with community knowledge and commitment can lead to more sustainable and impactful outcomes. For communities like Gadimari, where parents and leaders took matters into their own hands, the support of NGOs and private organizations amplifies their efforts, turning grassroots initiatives into larger, more sustainable projects, whether it's providing scholarship, building infrastructure, or advocating for systemic changes. These partnerships make it possible for even the most underserved to dream of a future where every child has a quality education. Despite the incredible impact that parents, communities, NGOs, and private organizations have on Nigerian education, their efforts are not without significant challenges. One of the foremost challenges faced by both NGOs and private organizations is funding. While many NGOs rely on donations and grants, these resources are often limited, and fundraising efforts must compete with numerous others pressing social causes. Securing consistent long-term funding to sustain educational initiatives is particularly challenging, and without stable financial backing, many promising programs risk early termination or, at the very least, reduced impact. Private organizations, on the other hand, often operate within corporate social responsibility budgets that can fluctuate based on companies' performance or changes in leadership priorities. When budgets tighten, educational support programs are often among the first to face cuts, leaving many students and schools without the resources they have come to rely on. Bureaucracy is another significant barrier for NGOs and private entities. Working with government agencies can be a slow and often frustrating process. Navigating the complex web of permits, regulations, and approvals required to launch and operate programs can delay initiatives by months or even years. In some cases, NGOs have reported being hampered by administrative requirements that eat into valuable resources, leaving less time and money for the actual work of teaching and supporting students. Additionally, miscommunication between different government levels of changes in policies can lead to further delay and complications. For instance, an NGO seeking to build a new classroom may encounter delays at both the federal and state level, where conflicting regulations or shifting political priorities create a complex and often unpredictable environment. Cultural and social resistance adds another layer of difficulty. In certain regions, traditional belief and practice, especially around girls' education or unconventional subjects, can hinder educational initiatives. In northern Nigeria, for example, some communities prioritize early marriage over secondary education for girls, presenting a cultural barrier to education. To address this, NGOs engage in cultural sensitive outreach, working with local leaders and parents to build trust and promote the long-term benefits of education. In some cases, community elders are involved in program planning, respecting local customs, while gradually shifting perspective on education for all children. As these stories show, the work of stakeholders from parents to private organizations remains essential in the journey towards quality education in Nigeria. Their collective efforts are shaping a brighter future for students nationwide. In our next episode, we will explore how education intersects with economics, examining how a well-educated population not only fuels national growth but also creates pathway to prosperity on both personal and societal levels.